local, live, late breaking. WESH 2 News Sunrise starts now.
Good morning. We're glad you're waking up with us on this Wednesday, April 2nd. I'm Jason Guy.
And I'm Meredith McDonough. Lots to get to today. Let's begin with the check of the forecast. First warning meteorologist Kellyanne Class is here now. And Kellyanne, another warm one on tap.
Yeah, yesterday was actually even the hottest day of the year. We reached 90 degrees. Keep in mind our average high yesterday was 81 degrees, and we were almost about 10 degrees above that. The last time we hit 90 degrees was back on October 5th of 2024. No records, though. Sanford, you were 1 degree shy of your record of 91. We were about 3 degrees shy of our record in Orlando of 93 degrees, and our beaches were much cooler into the mid 80s, all thanks to a sea breeze that had developed. Right now, though, it's still pretty warm outside. Areas north and west of the I-4 corridor waking up to temperatures into the upper 60s along I-4, and south and east we're waking up to temperatures in the mid 70s. The reason why we're a little bit cooler north and west of town is because of lower humidity, though still pretty muggy outside, but definitely feeling those humid conditions along I-4 and southeast with our dew point temperatures in the 70s. Right now, most of us waking up to clear conditions, though keeping my eye on some patchy fog. Right now, Palm Coast down to a 5-mile visibility. This afternoon, we'll have mostly sunny conditions, temperatures warming up into the upper 80s. We'll have more details on Central Florida's certified most accurate forecast coming up in a few minutes.
This morning in Commitment 2025, who we knew as State Representative Randy Fine just 24 hours ago is waking up a congressman-elect.
The former state senator is heading to Washington, D.C. after winning the special election last night to replace former Congressman Mike Waltz. Now, the race was a lot closer than initially expected. Democrat Josh Weil outraised Fine 10-1, but only got 43% of the vote in the heavily Republican district. District 6 spans all of Flagler County, northern parts of Volusia and the Lake counties, eastern Marion County, as well as Putnam and St. John's. With 99% of the votes in, Fine had just over 56% of the vote, and Weil had about 43. Now, the district has long been red and was won by both President Trump and former Representative Mike Waltz by 30 points. Now, Fine was asked what last night's margin potentially says about the district.
It's a special election. You have to look at the turnout. I mean, there were twice as many people that voted. I don't think you can read much into it. We won by double digits. We're super excited. It was an incredibly powerful victory, given that many of you said I was going to lose over the last week, and clearly we showed that wasn't any risk.
Weil, who out-fundraised Fine about $9 million to Fine's $1 million, felt they managed to make this district competitive.
We took a county, a district of 6 counties that had been written off and neglected by the state and national party for years, that no one thought could be competitive, that no one thought would respond to a progressive message, that no one thought you could generate engagement and infrastructure in, and we had hundreds of people who came out and canvassed and knocked doors for the first time. We were neck and neck last I looked, within a tenth of a point of actually winning Volusia County for the first time in God knows when.
Weil said it's the end of the race, but not the end of the road. For Fine, it's the beginning of a term in the House of Representatives. He said he plans to fight for all of District 6, no matter who they voted for yesterday. Both Randy Fine's victory and former Florida Chief Financial Officer Jimmy Petronis winning Matt Gaetz' old seat in the Panhandle. Republicans had their majority in the U.S. House. They will have 220 seats compared to Democrats' 213. 2 seats are currently vacant after 2 Democratic representatives passed away last month.
2 local other elections results are in this morning, both in Brevard County. Debbie Mayfield is projected to win the Republican primary to fill Randy Fine's old state Senate seat. That's District 19. She won with 61% of the vote. And then in the Florida House, the race there to replace Mayfield in District 32. Brian Hodgers squeaked out a victory in the Republican primary, projected to win with 35% of the vote. The general election for both state races is set for June 10th. Be sure to download the WESH 2 News app to get all of your election results and breaking news as it happens. The app is free to download.
A mother who survived an abusive relationship has an important message for Central Floridians. There is help for anyone in danger. Her plea comes after Volusia County deputies say a man killed his ex-wife Monday and then took his own life.
As WESH 2's Christina Watkins tells us, advocates are working overtime to save lives. Now, there is help for you or someone you know who may be in an abusive relationship. The National Domestic Violence Hotline is 800-799-7233. Harbor House of Central Florida also has a 24-hour confidential crisis hotline. You can call or text 407-886-2856. And you can find this information, plus how to get help from Stand Up Survivor, on our website, WESH.com.
This morning, 2 former educators in Cocoa Beach are now officially facing charges handed down by the state attorney's office. That's after allegedly throwing a house party filled with minors. Police say it ended with some kids going to the hospital. Former Roosevelt Elementary principal Elizabeth Hill Brodigan is charged with child neglect and hosting an open house party. But teacher Carly Anderson had her charges downgraded to 2 misdemeanors of disorderly intoxication and disorderly conduct. She's no longer facing a neglect charge. The party, authorities say, happened back in January. The state attorney's office sent this statement about the charges, writing, Florida's laws dealing with open house parties and underage drinking are meant to keep our young people and communities safe. These laws are in place to deter the conduct that exposes our youth to harm and gives rise to these criminal charges. Both of the former educators are now out on bond. At last check, their next court dates have not been scheduled.
WESH 2 has confirmed the city of Orlando is planning to allow Pulse survivors and the victims' families to visit the nightclub this summer. The city plans to demolish most of the site before building a permanent memorial. Officials say that this will be a private visit for people who feel it's important for their mental health to go inside the nightclub one last time. Now, the city says that people will be able to walk through the building, not just along the fence line. The visits will be scheduled for the week of June 9th to coincide with the annual Pulse Remembrance Ceremony. There is pushback to a possible plan to make it easier to get to Orlando Sanford International Airport.
One of the Central Florida Expressway's 2 final options to connect 417 to the airport runs through a farm. The owner of Flying Fox Fruit says his 3.5-acre farm is in danger of becoming an expressway to the airport. Routes 2 and 3D are here on the map in green and dark blue. Take a look there. CFX is considering Route 2 or refinement of 2A, which you can see here. That's in purple. The future of Shafram's farm depends on which route they choose.
You got to figure out what this is all worth. And that to me is the hard part, because if you have plants here that I've, created or selected, and, how's the appraiser going to know what it even is?
There will be a public meeting on this tonight at the Galileo School on Skyway Drive in Sanford. It's set to start at 6 o'clock.
Small businesses may soon feel the impact of our state's immigration overhaul.
And there is a new push to prevent criminals from slipping through the cracks, which could potentially save lives.
That is an issue because it is a preventable death. It is a preventable accident.
Here are concerns of how the foreign workforce and economy could be affected.
Plus, an alert for anyone with student debt. How to keep your credit report clean as leaders press play on collecting overdue payments. Many Canadians say that they are leaving Southwest Florida, and now business owners say they're feeling the impact.
This comes as the U.S. clamps down on Canadian visits requiring background checks and fingerprints if they plan to stay more than 30 days. Dave Elias from our sister station in Fort Myers reports. Other Canadians say they're going to take a wait-and-see approach and then decide later in the year whether to return or put their homes up for sale.
TikTok is almost out of time to find a buyer again. TikTok's parent company is on the hook to sell the app's U.S. operations by Saturday or face a ban in the U.S. This comes after President Trump extended the deadline in January. Now, there are several potential buyers, including a group led by billionaire former Los Angeles Dodgers owner Frank McCourt and Shark Tank investor Kevin O'Leary. Social media influencer Mr. Beast and AI firm Perplexity are also in the mix, as well as several others. Now, TikTok took itself offline for about 12 hours after the initial deadline passed with no deal. App stores removed access but restored it in February.
In Tallahassee, a proposal to require small businesses to use the federal E-Verify system to check the immigration status of workers is moving forward in the House. The Republican-controlled Industries and Professional Activities Subcommittee voted 12-4 along party lines to support this proposal. It would expand a requirement that businesses with 25 or more workers use the system.
It is an issue because if one of these individuals slip through the cracks and commits either a crime or an accident and harms one of our own, that is an issue because it is a preventable death. It is a preventable accident.
Democrats questioned how this would affect businesses in the state's finances. Representative Anna Eskamani cautioned that Florida's economy depends on foreign workers.
Costs are up right now. We don't have a workforce to support Florida's growing population in ag, in tourism, and healthcare. We are very reliant on immigrant labor.
A similar bill has not yet been heard in the Senate.
Now to a new Rawson Reports and a warning if you or someone you know has student loans.
There's a big change coming, but don't worry. Jeff Rawson's here to help explain what it means for you.
In our space headlines, check this out. The first views of Earth's polar regions. This is from the Fram 2 mission orbiting the Earth in a Dragon crew capsule right now. Now, they launched this week from Cape Canaveral on a 3 to 5 day mission. It is the first time that humans are orbiting the Earth's poles. Now, sometimes the best part of coming home from a long trip is seeing your pets again.
Yeah, that's definitely true for Sunny Williams after her 9-month stay in space. Oh, look at that. Sunny returned home and had this reunion with her dogs. Don't you love seeing that? Sunny posted the video on social media with the message, "Best homecoming ever." Sunny returned last month with Butch Wilmore and SpaceX Crew 9 after an extended stay aboard the International Space Station.
4:48, let's talk about your forecast on this Wednesday. Made it to the midweek, and it's just been a hot one all week.
Yeah, we were talking about hitting the 90s in some spots yesterday. It's a stretch that we're in for some time, Kellyanne, where it doesn't feel like spring where we are on the calendar. It's more summer heat.
Absolutely, yeah, it's hot, and unfortunately that stretch is going to continue in the next 3 days. We may not be at 90 degrees in the forecast side this afternoon, but we're nearing that today, tomorrow, and then on Friday we are still in the upper 80s. And notice there's no rainfall in the forecast. We have high pressure in place, and that's going to keep us nice and dry. But we do have some changes on the way. Looking ahead to next week, we have our next big cold front that's going to arrive late Monday into Tuesday, and this is going to bring in some showers and thunderstorms, and also going to help us cool us down. So we'll go from 89 degrees today to 80 degrees next Tuesday. It's going to be a nice change, but for now, we just have to get through a hot stretch. This afternoon, most of us from Orlando and on east will be in the middle and upper 80s, but if you're west of Orlando, you're expected to reach the 90s. 90 degrees this afternoon in Winter Haven, Claremont, 91 in Leesburg, 92 in Wildwood, the Villages, and in Ocala. Right now, to start, we're in the upper 60s and low 70s, a couple of mid 70s out along Brevard County. We are starting off with mostly clear conditions, but I am going to keep my eye on some patchy fog developing. Right now, conditions are looking okay, but as we go throughout the morning, I am expecting more of that fog to develop. Otherwise, not seeing any sort of rainfall or cloud cover this morning. We'll just have plenty of sunshine going into the afternoon as our high temperatures gradually climb into the 80s. So it's looking like a great beach day ahead, but keep in mind, we do have a high risk of rip currents. And because we're going to have mostly sunny conditions today, our UV index is on the very high side. It's a 10. So burn time is right around 15 minutes as far as 20 minutes. Then tomorrow afternoon, we're keeping that heat around. Temperatures west of Orlando back into the low 90s, but Ocala, you're expected to reach 93 degrees tomorrow, 80s Orlando and on east. High pressure is centered out in the Atlantic over the next couple of days. It's going to keep another cold front out of our direction for now, but then this cold front will get closer and closer on Sunday night into parts of the panhandle of Florida. That cold front will arrive then on Monday, but at least for this weekend, still expected to be hot, nearing the low 90s on Saturday. On Sunday, we will be at 92 degrees. Central Florida's certified most accurate forecast is very dry over the next 7 days. About a 30% coverage of rainfall on Monday. On Tuesday, we're up to a 50% coverage of showers and thunderstorms as that cold front rolls on in, and that'll drop our high temperatures on Tuesday into the 70s and low 80s.
For the first time in years, Disney is opening the doors of 2 attractions right here in Central Florida.
We'll walk you through the magical that the dual park opening is doing this summer.
Plus, bringing big business to Polk County, the Aviation Expo flying through this week to keep skies safe.
And if you have an event or want to see something on our community calendar, email that information to events@wesh.com. The email address is right on screen now. If you're a nonprofit, local school, or government, we want to know what's happening. If your event is approved, it'll be added to the calendar on our website and in our app for all our viewers to see. There are so many unique storylines embedded within this year's Final Four. All 4 top seeds are still alive.
Okay, and then there's the SEC versus SEC matchup. Friends turn foes on the court as Gators head coach Todd Golden has known Auburn's coach Bruce Pearl for more than 20 years.
In Polk County, it's a big week for airplane enthusiasts in Lakeland.
The annual Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo is now underway. And during the week, officials say Lakeland Linder International Airport sees flights landing every minute, sometimes every 30 seconds. Well, this year, the FAA sent 63 air traffic controllers from all over the nation to Lakeland to help keep the skies safe. Sun and Fun is Florida's largest convention and the second largest aerospace expo in the world, generating tens of millions of dollars for the local economy. The general manager at Harry's Seafood Bar and Grill is preparing for what he knows will be a busy dinner crowd.
There's always groups that are coming in every year. They tend to make it a habit of coming to their, local restaurants on certain days of the week, and they make time to come by here, and you can always tell that there's an influx of business for sure.
Fun and Sun runs through Sunday. Walt Disney World is doing something that we haven't seen since before the pandemic.
Yeah, check this out.
This summer we're seeing signs of a blizzard and a typhoon because both Disney's Blizzard Beach and Disney's Typhoon Lagoon will be open. They'll both be open? Okay. Cut! We gotta go!
Okay, are you hearing this? Both Typhoon Lagoon and Blizzard Beach will open at the same time. Blizzard Beach will temporarily close from May 1st through May 20th, but after that, both will be ready to welcome guests from May 21st through September 7th. The last time this happened was back in 2019. Making strides toward improving physical health.
How you can join the national effort to get moving today. It's making a stop right here in Central Florida. Plus,
there's a lot of people that say, yes, I want it. It's good. I want to have a municipality. I want to have a city. But then when it comes down to the pocketbook,